Shows a weekend outside of Ridgeland Farms Beagle Breeding and Research Facility Wednesday. New no trespassing signage and increased private security. After video shows a weekend break-in, more than 50 activists with crowbars opening doors and grabbing 23 dogs. Animal activist and lawyer Wayne Shung led the effort Sunday morning, his camera crew capturing these images.
If the only way for us to get the dog story into court is to be charged ourselves, we are delighted to have that opportunity because we need the public, we need the legal system.
Shung says he wanted to expose what he says are poor conditions inside the research facility.
For 22 dogs who had lived their entire lives in a cage, this was the most transformative day of their life, and that's all that matters to me.
Ridgeland Farms is located here in Blue Mound, western Dane County, and behind these fences, they've been breeding and performing research on dogs for roughly 60 years.
Ridgeland Farms is a facility that's dedicated to veterinary medicine. 95% of the research that they do and support benefits our pet animals in new vaccines, new treatments, improving dog food, and a variety of other means.
Spokesperson Jim Newman says the other 5% is for research for humans. Companies contract with the farm to perform research on the roughly 2,000 beagles inside. Court records obtained by 12 News show that back in October, the state reached an agreement with Ridgeland to give up its state license by July 1st, which allows them to breed and sell dogs for research, all in an effort to avoid a potential felony charge of mistreatment of animals. Newman says the company is still planning, however, to operate under federal licensing, allowing them to still breed dogs and perform research, just no longer allowed to sell them.
They have a remarkably good USDA inspection history. They are very much in compliance with the Animal Welfare Act.
The sheriff arrested 27 of the activists. Those taken to jail were released Tuesday. Among them, former Baywatch actress and animal rights activist Alexandra Paul. The district attorney's office has not filed charges. In Blue Mound, James Stratton, WISN 12 News.
I was documenting the Ridgeland Farms Beagle rescue yesterday, and I found myself watching other activists break through and rescue these sweet souls in these cages held hostage. And as I was filming them behind the bars, I asked myself the question that I always ask, which is, what would Jesus do? One tiny one was hurtled back in the corner, probably the smallest one there. And I thought about the Bible verse, greater is no love than a man who lays down his life for his friends. And dogs are man's best friend. They're living individuals that deserve better than that. They don't deserve anything like that. And so I actually grabbed that dog. I was only going to film, but I couldn't stand it because they needed more hands to get dogs out fast as the police descended upon the complex. And when I got out to where the police were, they were ripping dogs out of the cages. A lot of the dogs didn't make it out that were originally rescued and brought out, but there were 2 dogs that found their way into a Tesla, and myself and this individual hopped in the car together. This was not planned. This was just what happened in the moment. We were able to get that dog into the front trunk of the Tesla to make sure those 2 dogs got out. So it would have been 20 dogs. We made it 22, and there's still thousands of them sitting back there. So I urge everyone, please call Dane County, press them, make them do something about this. These dogs need to be liberated now.